Hi, this is Second Spawner, where I do predictions of the future. If you'd like me to do a prediction for you, let me know in the comments below. Just a reminder that we're doing lives here on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. Central. So I think there's a mistake in the next promo on YouTube. So it is 10 o'clock a.m. tomorrow. So I'm going to be fixing that later on. And make sure that remember that Tuesdays and Thursdays we go live here at 5 o'clock p.m. Central. So make sure you mark down your calendars. If you like a personal reading with me, make sure you go to secondreadingsbyandre.com where you'll find my email and you can get in touch with me for a personal reading. Okay, so let's get into it. And we got people in the chat already. Hello, everybody. I'm flying solo today. The wife is sleeping, so we're going to have to be a little bit more quiet than normal. But I do have my co-host, Domino, who's warming up my knee. It's really warm, but that's okay. Let's get into it. So today we're going to look at Biden as the first thing that we're looking at for today. It seems that his wonderful presidency is so wonderful that I think everybody just hates him. Kind of like our Trudeau here in Canada, where people were throwing rocks at him when he's on tour and being called names when he's visiting people around Canada. So good times for the politicians of our planet. Let's get right into the reading for Biden going forward. So Biden's been doing all kinds of things. The White House has been trying to scare everybody in the United States and around the planet with monkeys, and that kind of died not that long ago. And now everybody's focused on everything that's been happening in Texas. Okay, and they're trying to use that as an excuse to try to ban guns. And of course, that never really flies all that well in amongst most of the population of the United States. It's not that criminals can't get guns. And of course, criminals get guns through other means than actually buying them from the store. People kind of forget this fact that criminals don't get their guns from the gun store. They get it through other means. So by banning guns, the only person that you're actually hurting is the regular law-abiding citizens that would like to purchase a gun to protect themselves from the criminals that get their guns from other means. Okay, so all these gun laws and things in the United States are baloney. Okay, and that's putting it nicely. Okay, so let's have a look at Mr. Biden in we'll say the next year or so. So it seems that his health in particular is going by the wayside. We're noticing more and more that his lack of mental facility is declining in a great way. He was caught shaking hands with ghosts on one occasion, and then just blundering as Biden normally does nowadays uh, with his talking. Okay, and getting off script, and I guess his handlers always get after him for going off script because he starts to say the truth or just goes off into the uh, dreamland that's just the world of little Biden. Uh, I do think his health is going to be really declining for the next couple months. Everybody's going to be noticing that, just watching him. I think they're going to be having him in front of people less and less as we get into the midterms, which is about October, I believe, for the United States. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I think that's going to be coming very, very soon, for the United States. And I think the pendulum is going to swing hard to the other side, because I think just about everybody in the United States is pretty much done with the way things have been going. Okay. So, yeah, his health is in huge decline, and we're going to be all noticing this by watching him in the next couple weeks and months and year, if he does last that long. I don't think he's going to be passing away in anytime soon, but it's going to be really noticeable that he's not able to perform his duties as president. Okay. um of course, he's not actually the person in charge. The people that are behind him are the people that are in charge. So it just gives you a broad uh, overview of what the elites want for the world, and not what actually Biden wants for the world. And of course, everybody's in Davos right now with the Great Reset bunch, and they're having their discussions on. And the biggest discussion is how to eliminate cryptocurrencies at this time, because they're trying to get control of that situation, because it's something that works outside of the political system and the banking system and all of that. This is where the great change is going to be happening, is with cryptocurrencies. If you ever look at the World Financial Forum, and they don't hide anything, okay, on their website, they tell you point blank exactly what they want for the world, that they want us under slavery, and they also want us to have a decline in the population. That way they can control us much better and to keep us in fear. But once you start to put more and more pressure on people, that's when greater things happen. Okay. When you push the public too much, this is when the elites have more and more problems overall. Okay. Um, Lots of good questions that are coming up on the chat. So we'll get into those in a second. Let's look into his financial system. I think the financial system of the Biden um, presidency is going to be a huge decline. And when the United States economy collapses, that means the world is going to be starting to collapse. Maybe not as much, but everything relies upon the United States for sales. Like the company I work for, my day job, the products that we make go to the United States. Of course, our bosses at my work are smart, and they're casting a larger net. And if you're a company, do not rely solely on one country. I think we just in the company, I won't mention the company, but they're getting into Dubai, and they're getting into Europe. I think they just opened up an office in Germany, and they're starting to do more and more business on a wider base instead of just relying upon one country, which is on the verge of collapse. The people themselves will be mostly fine. It's going to be really rough, but the government, okay, is going to collapse, because there's too much baloney going on within. And when you keep doing that, your whole entire thing starts to collapse. So people will swing hard to the other side. Okay. My thoughts, I believe, are to get rid of government as much as possible. That's why I'm an advocate for cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, because it gets us out of that system. Okay. No matter what they do, if you're into a parallel system, which doesn't get affected too much by the government, they try to. Scare you with taxes, and they want to ban this and ban that and all this stupidity just so that they can keep control over you. That's where we're going to see a huge shift from going from the banking system, the old legacy system, into the new system. Okay. And the more you put pressure on people, the more they're going to go to other alternative systems. Okay. And that's what Bitcoin represents. Yes, it's a great way to make a lot of money, even now. Right. It just dropped the other day. But still making money. It's more stable than the US currency or the Canadian currency or the Australian, hello, Marlon, um, currency. Okay. It's more stable than that. And you got to give it kudos, Bitcoin kudos, that it's actually faring fairly well from everything else that's going on. Even now, Bitcoin is a tiny little boat on a huge ocean. Okay. Everybody thinks that Bitcoin is this huge compared to the world economy, it's just a little dinghy boat. And every time that the regular economy or something goes wrong in the regular world, it's going to toss and turn that little dinghy boat all around, but it never sinks, and it will never ever sink because it's that lifeboat that we all need to get into. Okay, for the future. Okay. Because we all know the old system is collapsing, and especially quickening with the Biden administration. It's falling quicker and quicker every day. So if you are thinking of getting off that boat, which is the American, well, the worldwide um, uh, politicians, into an alternative parallel system, that's where Bitcoin comes in. And that was the main objective of Bitcoin in the first place. We have to remember what Bitcoin was for originally. It was made after the 2008 collapse, okay? As an alternative to the old system, which is horribly managed, okay? Which is mathematically going to collapse. And we're watching that live now. Okay. Um, so this is going to be what's going to be happening within the United States. It's going to be a pretty big collapse. And this is the time that people are going to start to click in that the old system's not working. Maybe we should get to that Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, uh, Bitcoin Cash, okay, XRP, even as a safety measure and a hedge against the American, well, the world banking industry as a hedge against that. Bitcoin is the hedge against everything that's stupid, okay? Bitcoin is the hedge against the American government and the banking system, against the Canadian government banking system. It is the hedge that is going to bring us into the next world. Okay? So the people that are around him, getting back to Biden, okay, it seems that a lot of the people around him are basically shutting him. They do not want to work with him. There's going to be a lot of um, people. We're going to see this coming up very soon, and it's already happening that people are starting to leave him in a great, massive uh, exodus out of his uh, clique. Okay, so a lot of the things that they were, because we got the smoke and mirrors card, the magician, it's just smoke and mirrors that everybody's on the same page with him, and we're going to be finding out very, very quickly that it's not the case. I think there was one politician that left the Biden administration. It went to the other side, and we're going to see more and more of this happening just before the midterms coming up for the United States. Um, and that pendulum is going to swing hard to the right in the next little while. Okay, so Biden basically is finished. He just doesn't know that it's actually done by now. Okay, they're hanging on with for dear life to whatever power that they have, and everything is going to be collapsing in around himself in the next little while. Okay, so interesting look at Joe Biden in the next little while. Okay, um, yeah, it's not good for his little bit of future that he has left. Um, we're going to be swinging hard to the right, and that's going to be worldwide. Okay, let's look at the next thing. Bull run for Luna in the next 2 weeks. Somebody had asked. Let's have a look at that. I know they set up the new chain. It's a separate chain. It's not a fork. Okay, and they're talking about that a little bit in TMI, the Modern Investor. If you look him up on YouTube, very good show. I watch every morning while I'm eating my breakfast before work. So maybe go give his channel a look. So let's have a look for that bull run for the next 2 weeks for Luna. So the Luna chain, new chain is going to, I think everybody's going to be a little afraid of getting into that for reasons. Um, it seems the health of it is quite shaky, and it's not doing as well as they thought it would, because everybody's pretty much gun shy at this moment in time on getting into that new system. Even though most of the people that were in the old chain are going to be airdropped the new coins for the new chain, I think people are going to be a little hesitant on getting into that for the next little while. I think in the next 2 weeks, there will be a little bit of a nice spike for it, but because of everything else that's going on, because now you got to convince all these people to start investing in the new chain. That's going to be a little shy from what they were thinking of getting. Okay, so I do see sunny days. There is going to be a bit of a spike um, overall. Okay, they're going to be fighting hard for that, uh, getting that chain back in line without the um, stable coin. I guess they learned their lesson the last time, and the new chain is not going to have the new um, uh, stable coin attached to it, which wasn't based on anything. It was just based on make the purpose of making money. Okay, it wasn't like Tether, which is, and we're going to be getting into Tether for the next topic um, in a minute. They weren't really attached to any particular thing. It was just wishful thinking going on with the Luna uh, stable coin. So the more information that's coming out, I think that we do have the Sun card for the financial part. So that's just telling me that in the next 2 weeks that the price is going to go up pretty good, not amazingly, but pretty good. And it's a definite yes. We got the Ace of Swords going on in that financial part, which is always a yes. So it will have a nice increase, but not as much as they were hoping for. The people that are associated with it, that's the third line of cards that I always do. They're pretty much in that boat I was first initially talking about with Luna is that they're a little gun shy. Okay. So it's going to take them quite some time to get those people back into putting more and more money into something that might collapse again. Okay. And you have to remember that the collapse was done on purpose. Right now, that we're hearing more about uh, cryptos that are backed by the banking industry and the CBDCs coming out. Governments and banks do not want you to have something that's separate from what they control. So that they're doing all these tactics, okay, to get rid of stable coins, and that's probably why the Tether collapse keeps coming up in my comment section, because they're attacking those things. Okay, the SEC is going to be coming after everything that's known to be, the person that controls it. These uh, stable coins are known by the people. Where Bitcoin, this is another good reason to get into Bitcoin, is nobody really knows who controls or started Bitcoin. So there's no gun to put to the head to say, tell them to stop or make changes with the blockchain. That's a benefit. Okay. The Bitcoin is for protection against governments. Okay, and they have to, the makers of Bitcoin have to stay anonymous because of that fact. Okay, it's not to protect you from the regular criminals, it's to protect you from the government. Okay, think of it that way. um, Ethereum, everybody knows who is one of the main guys of Ethereum, right? It's not that hard for a government agency to put a gun to his head and go, you make these changes, right? If it's anonymous, that is the power of having that for your cryptocurrency. And that's probably why Bitcoin is probably the best one to get into. Not because it makes the most money, it's because it's anonymous to the government, okay, and other criminals. So I think Terra Luna's getting, the new chain is going to do well in the next couple of weeks, next couple of years. But it's going to take them quite a bit of time to get the people back into that system because they're a little gun shy. Okay. So that was Terra Luna. Now, somebody was asking about the Tether collapse. And we got Domino giving his 2 cents. Okay, let's have a look at it. Interesting cards coming up. Okay, so people are asking about the Tether collapse. I think it's going to be downgraded to a lot than from what it was. Okay, I think it's going to be taking a hard hit, like many of the other stable coins that are out there, because they contradict the government, what the government wants for the world. Okay, and this is why they're having their big discussion in Davos with the Great Reset baloney bunch. Um, so they're going to go after these companies that are known, the people are known to the powers that be, and they can put a gun to your head and go, and convince you to do other things. Okay. This, again, the strength of Bitcoin. Because we got, for the health of the Tethered coin, we got the tower. Okay, everything collapsing for the next year. They're going to keep it going. We got the Ace of wands, which is always a yes. It will survive, but it's going to have a huge decline. So if you have a lot of money in the Tether um, coin platform, maybe a wise idea to get most or all of it or most of it out of there before this happens in the next year or so, because the SEC is going to go after these because they want everybody to be controlled. Okay. And if they can control Tether, they can control you. And they want to scare everybody into the new CBDCs. Okay, this is the bigger picture of what's going on. Not that Tether is horrible or and all this other things. It's just something that's not controlled by the government. So I think they're going to be turning into something that's on the side to something that's being controlled by the government. Okay, because we got for the money. Which was the interesting card that came up. We have the good old death card. Doesn't mean the death of said crypto. It's not quite a crypto, but you know what I mean. It means a huge decline with the price of that cryptocurrency as the SEC and the other organizations come after them in the next little while. They will keep it going, but it's going to be everybody who has or money in that is going to be taking a bit of a loss in the next little while as they try to scare everybody out of that cryptocurrency. This is probably why everybody should be putting their money into Bitcoin or Litecoin, Ethereum, that sort of thing, and get out of the way of the SEC. Okay? Governments are flailing around trying to keep control of everything, just making it tough for us regular folks going forward. So, yes, Tether is going to be taking a bit of a quite a big hit in the next little while. I think they will survive, but just barely. Okay, so that was Tether. Look at Tether. And then we're going to get into the last question. Somebody is asking, does China still control most of the mining of Bitcoin? Okay. So in this in on itself is not a bad thing, but the more miners you have, the more say you have over what happens with the Bitcoin blockchain when things come up. That's basically, if you don't know anything about Bitcoin mining, when new things come up for changes, it is the miners that make that decision if it yay or nay or stay in the middle. That's why it takes so long for some things to be implemented on the Bitcoin blockchain, is that everybody, a certain amount of people need to say yes to the proposed change on the blockchain. So let's have a look at that question. So, does China still have most of the mining for BTC? Domino has many things to say in the background here. Yeah. You gonna say hello to everybody? Can you be sitting nice? You can be my co-host. You just gotta stay still. Sit on my lap. Anyways, big China, the government doesn't affect or control what the regular people are doing for mining. So yes, they are still mining, but it's hidden from most of the government, or the government just doesn't care anymore. They want to issue their own digital currency. That's kind of the enemy of the government of China is BTC mining. At the moment, yes, there is a bunch of mining still happening, just hidden. Okay, there's thousands of these uh, Bitcoin mining farms in China Do you think that the government got rid of them all? No. Okay. Eh, the powers that be say close the mining. Okay, Larry, turn it off. Oh, they're gone. Turn it back on. That's pretty much the scenario of most of the mining farms of China. Or Larry comes in, the inspector. Oh, here's some money for you, sir. Everything looks good, right? Good. And then that person would go back to the Chinese government. It looks good. They're not mining anymore. Oh, here's your cat. That happens a lot. Well, that happens everywhere around the world. Okay. So, yes, China is still mining quite a bit, but not the huge proportion that they were in the past. Okay. And that would be noticeable on the blockchain. You would actually see it where everything is being mined. So it's still happening. Um, and I don't think many of the people that are mining in China really care about policy as long as they make their money. And that's pretty much what it is. And they will keep doing that. It just means that we have here in North America have to get more mining rigs. Okay? Just beat them at their own game. Okay? So that was the China BTC mining. Okay? Let's get into the chat. Let's see. Oh, somebody was asking about quantum. Let's look at that. Cat 55K was saying, "Hi Andre, how or what? How is quantum doing?" Okay, let's have a look at that for the next year for quantum. And I'm going to assume that it's going to be falling in line with everything else that's going all over the place. If you look at the Bitcoin blockchain or price, it's going kind of like what Cliff High was saying before the big pump. So this is going to be happening very, very soon because it's the thing with crypto people, they kind of tunnel vision and they don't look at the bigger thing going on. If everybody looked at the bigger picture, everybody would be into Bitcoin. Okay. Um, but I think everybody is just focused on making that money, which is a nice benefit to Bitcoin and quantum and many of the other cryptocurrencies. But its main intent is to have something alternative to the government and the banking system. That was its original intent. So I think quantum's health is a little quite shaky at the moment. They will get through this in the next. This is going to be for the next year or so. Same with the price. It's going to be nice buying opportunities coming for everybody for quantum. If you're interested in quantum, not financial advice, of course. And it's going to be stabilizing very, very soon. And then it's going to drop again. And then we're going to have that big pump at the end of everything going on. I think that's going to be August, September, October, in that range. I think this summer is going to be not the greatest for cryptos all around for price wise. It's going to be a great time for buying. Okay, buy. And we all can change the course of any cryptocurrency if we all band together and just keep buying. Go against everything else. Everything is on sale right now. Okay. This is a speech I remember for being a financial advisor. Everything's dropping, everything's on sale. Okay? It is true. Always do the opposite to what everybody else is doing, and you're going to do just fine. If everybody's panicking and running around with their hair on fire, as you've noticed, I had my haircut. The wife said I should get my haircut, and that way it doesn't catch on fire as easily. But most of the people out there, they're running around with their hair on fire, going, ah, stop that. Buy. And we all can change the course of Bitcoin, quantum, any of the cryptocurrencies if we just start buying in mass. This is what happened with Blockbuster, I think it was. It was a couple years back with the Diamond Hand Dave and all that sort of thing, where Robinhood dropped the ball and showed their true colors. You go against everybody else. Okay, this is how you have financial success: is you do the opposite to everybody else. Don't follow the crowd. The crowd could be jumping over a cliff. Okay, when everybody's afraid, be greedy. This is the time to be greedy. So if your favorite cryptocurrency is the price has been dropping, this is the time to buy. I have to get that into people's minds because everybody, the crypto. There is some really good buying opportunities for quantum coming up, if not already. Okay, so just think of it that way, because it was going to be coming back with a vengeance. Don't worry about it so much. Quantum is going to be around for quite some time. I think the people that are involved with it are working hard behind the scenes, and they will bring it back up to where it needs to be. Okay, so this is a time for great buying opportunities for pretty much everything at the moment. Everything's on sale. Okay, and pennies on the dollar. So think of it that way. And quantum is in that same boat. Okay. Okay, let's look at the next one. What do we got? Well, this is an easy one. Is crypto going lower this week? Yep. And then it's going to go up. And then it's going to go down. It's going to go up. And then it's going to go. It's kind of boring in a way. The bigger picture, okay, cryptocurrencies is going to do this all day long for the next year, or maybe not for the next year, but for the next couple of months, especially for the summer months. It's going to do this: buy low, sell high. That's all you need to know. Everybody's hair is on fire, running around. This is the time that you get bold and greedy and buy. And you can change the course of any cryptocurrency that you're interested in and just massively buy this stuff because the old system is collapsing. Okay, this is the lifeboat. Okay, cryptocurrencies, a good portion of them, are the lifeboat from the old system. Look at the bigger picture. Okay. Yeah, it's going to go low. It's going to go high again. It's going to go low. It's the same old scenario as before. And I think by the end of harvest time, it's going to drop some more. Some are saying 20,000 for a Bitcoin, American. This is the great opportunity for everybody out there, is to buy at that moment. It'll be the last time that any regular person like us can buy one Bitcoin at a good price. After that, it's going to be out of reach of most people. Okay, if there is enough Bitcoin on the blockchain, or on the market. Okay, because that's coming down quite a bit. Thank you, Marlon, for the comment on my haircut. Fame asked Biden run by the alliance. Yes. I'll just throw it up there. the bad guys. They're not. He's not. I think the good guys have infiltrated him, and they've been telling him basically what to do and act like an idiot. Well, that's easy for Biden. He can act like an idiot and wake people. The one thing the Biden thing is doing is it's waking up a lot of people. The great thing about Trudeau right now, it's waking up a lot of people. They don't talk about it on the news, but it is. Okay? Here's a good question. If it pops up, will LCX exchange survive and do well? Okay. I don't know anything about this particular exchange. And again, I'm going to reiterate, if you have your money on an exchange, do not leave your money on an exchange ever. I don't care which one. I don't care if it's Binance. I don't care if it's LCX. I don't care which exchange it is. Okay? Exchanges are in two states, unless they're a decentralized one, which there are many. I don't know if this is or not. There's two states for an exchange. It's either been hacked or will be hacked. Okay? Do not leave all your cryptocurrency on an exchange. I don't care which one. Put it on a Trezor. Put it on a hot wallet. Hot wallet is like on your phone or your computer. And a cold storage wallet would be like a Trezor or a Ledger Nano. Okay? Never ever leave your money on an exchange unless you're in the middle of a trade or you're doing something with it, but don't put all your eggs in one basket. I've heard so many people who have lost everything because of some hack. Okay? Anyways. LCX, it's a little shaky. I don't think it's gonna do very well in the next little while because of probably hacking or about to be hacked. I think a lot of the situation there is they may not have all the goods, especially with the financial part, to keep them going at full capacity for them. It will survive. It just may not be the greatest one out there because they may not have all the finances coming in or all the clientele to keep everything working, the people working behind the scenes. The cards are showing that it will be fine. It's a little shaky at the moment for their health, but I think they're going to be pulling through that. It's going to be a long, long journey for them to get back to where they need to be. But I think they're going to be overcoming that. We got our friend, the Three of Swords. If you got this in your reading, it's usually a really bad card, but it's reversed. So I think they're just working through a situation, a hurdle that they needed to overcome, and they will be doing that in the next year or so. So I think LCX will be fine overall, but it's going to be quite shaky for the next year or so until they change it themselves. Okay. But again, do not ever, 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 ever leave your cryptos on an exchange. I know people get lazy. Put it on a good wallet like Trezor, right? So let's move on to the next thing. Our friend here, Dilly Dilly. Good morning, Andre. Will XRP reach $1 to $2 US or more in the next 3 months? That's a good question. I think XRP is going to be taking a bit of a dive. So, because of the banking, because they are, I know people, oh, they're not a banker's coin. Yes, they are. That's how they started. That's their main source of revenue. I've done a deep dive on XRP, and people have some weird ideas of what XRP is. Anyways, next 3 months for XRP, it is the banker's choice of coin. So its health is going to be regulated by how healthy the banking system's going to be. I'll just leave it at that. But let's have a look at the actual price of $1 to $2 US in the next 3 months. And the answer to that is no. They're working on it. And that even now it's taken a lot of hits from regulators and all that in this whole long journey of the SEC against the Ripple XRP. That is going to be taking its toll on that cryptocurrency. So for the next 3 months, just expect what's going on right now to be continuing for that length. It might go up a tiny bit, but not as much. It's going to continue to follow the Bitcoin around as is normal at this moment in time. There's not really going to be much of an altcoin season. Okay. I think everything's going to be predicated on the price of Bitcoin for the next couple of months. Okay. Thank you for that question, though. Dilly always has those great questions. Oh, student loan forgiveness. We're getting a little political now. Okay. I think I was watching Sticks and Hammer 666, another great YouTuber who was talking about this the other day. Go check him out. It's a really good show. His show gives me the oversight of what's happening in the United States. That is going to be overturned. I think he's going to flip-flop on that student loan forgiveness thing. And I don't think they should ever do that, because if they ever do that, it's going to collapse the economy even more. Because now they got to print off a ton of money for this forgiveness thing, and it's going to put everybody in debt, which is going to be affecting the world at large. And it's going to be crashing the system even quicker if they do this. They can do it. But should they? No, because it would collapse everything, especially with the housing bubble going to be bursting anytime soon. And then you're going to put this on top of that. You think the world economy is bad now? If you do this, it'd be even worse. It'll make the Great Depression look like a sunny holiday at the beach. So let's just throw some cards. I don't think they're just giving lip service to the left, because that's what the left wants. And it's not a good idea. So it's end of a cycle. We got the 10 card of wands. So that hard labor that people were putting into this idea of student loan forgiveness is going to be coming to an end, and it's going to flip-flop into no, a huge no. They're promising all kinds of things in the beginning. Look at this. We're going to do this. Nah. It was only a lip service to the left. And when this goes back to the first thing I was talking about, why Joe Biden is going to collapse everything, he's going to promise a whole lot of things, and then he's going to flip-flop on them. Okay? And most of the people on the left are going to be against Joe Biden and probably rush to the other side, because the other side is going to be promising all kinds of wonderful things as well. So people are going to be transient in their political uh, selves. We'll just leave it at that. So no, it's not going to be going through. It's going to be flip flopped, and if they ever did, it would collapse the entire system. So, and student loan forgiveness is not really worth it for that purpose. Okay, thank you for that question. Uh, okay, this is an interesting question. What time we got? Uh, Positive light beings in the spirit realm are giving Elon Musk guidance for his agenda. Does this mean demonic dark energies are pushing people to do the negative school shootings for gun control? It's light beings and dark beings. They do implement, they do things to us, but not in that direction. School shootings happen all the time. Okay, they're just why they're covering this is to do gun control. Okay, it'd be like in Manitoba, Winnipeg, Manitoba. We have murders all the time. We're known as the murder capital of Canada. Okay, if they had reported on every murder that happened in Winnipeg, our news would just be murders. Okay, they just plan to cover certain things to keep you distracted and to change your mind into a different way of being. Now, the shootings are just a symptom of a bigger problem. And the bigger problem is government, okay? On way they're handling everything. It's a pressure cooker, okay? All the other things, the bigger picture, all the negative things that are going on because of government. Okay. The shooting is completely related to the government. Okay. And how they're trying to control and change your mind into keeping you in fear. Okay. And that is the only way they know how to control you. Okay. It's been shown over and over and over again that they use fear to keep you under control, to keep you thinking that you need them to protect you from all the negative things going on in the world. This is the only way they can control you. If we didn't have that control over most of the population, we wouldn't need government. This is why Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies would solve many of the problems that we have. You change the money, you change the world. People needing control over everything, like politicians, and want to stay there, they need to use fear, okay, to keep you under control, making you think that you need them for some safety and protection. Shootings happen all the time. It's just that they're focusing on this one because it's part of the news cycle, and it's a way of keeping your attention away from what's actually going on with the financial system. People understood that those guns would be pointed towards the government. Okay. Spirit realm giving Elon Musk guidance. I think Elon's just doing what Elon wants to do. Okay. Maybe a little bit. They it is our own choice. I know there's people out there that think demons are in charge of everything that negative that's going on. We ourselves do these negative things. Stop putting it off to demons and guides. They will help you, they just won't do it for you. It's just how impressionable are you from their influence. Okay. And if you're very susceptible to their influence, then you will act accordingly. Okay. That's basically how the other side acts upon us. Stop blaming them. It is us that make the choices, okay, and what we do. So, this person that did the shooting, they were already in a negative space, and all the other negative things happening around the planet made him do what he did, okay, in his own personal life. Anything good is uh, the other side is neither good nor bad. It's just energy, okay? And how they act upon us, uh, it's usually for the betterness of humanity, okay? If you're plugged into the right thing, okay? Interesting question. Thank you for that. Well, here's a quick one. Will Biden finally close the southern border with Mexico? No. Yes, it's going to get worse. That was an easy one. Okay. We're getting close to the hour. Um, no problem. That's what I'm here to do from last live stream. 3 card reading on your portfolio. Okay. Hey, somebody from India. I have a lot of coworkers from India. Great people. I'm starting to pick up the language a little bit too, because they talk to themselves, and I'm working beside them, right? That and the Gala, which is Filipino. I pick up some Tagalog because I work alongside them every day. Great people. I guess it's Hindi is the language that I hear all the time that they're speaking. They're not supposed to, but they do. Yeah, I don't care. As long as they don't ask me a question in that language, I wouldn't know what they're saying, right? So your portfolio in the long run, I think there's going to be a couple changes that you have to do, very minor ones to get it going to the direction that you're wanting it to go. Um, I think overall you're okay. I don't think it's going to be 3 timesing in the next bull run, but I think you're going to do very well. Make sure you get your Bitcoin, your Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Bitcoin Cash and Chainlink, and I think you'll be just fine with the next bear run or bear run, bull run in the next little while. I don't think it's going to be 3 timesing itself. Okay. Thank you for that question. Okay. And we're getting close. Isn't Jim Carrey Biden? Maybe. They're all clones, I tell you. Yes, GameStop. We'll end it with this. The great discussion that I need to talk to everybody about. It was GameStop. Thank you for the reminder, not whatever it was I said. It was GameStop that everybody started putting money into. I think it was through Robinhood, and then they dropped the ball and did all the thing. We can implement change ourselves. We have to stop relying on everybody else to make that change. If we want Bitcoin to rise, you get everybody and you start a web thing, a meetup, a YouTube channel, whatever you need to do it, get everybody together and start buying together. And when you start to do that, you're going to create change. Stop waiting for everybody else to do the work and you start to do the work. This is what the people at GameStop thing did. It was a Reddit, I think, a Reddit thing. They created change themselves. It got in the way of, unfortunately, because it was something that was controlled by the elites or had influenced by the elites. Basically, gun held to the leader of Robin Hood, and you do this or bang bang. We have the opportunity of making great change ourselves, okay, by creating movement, okay. This is the law of action, the law of attraction. If you want certain things to happen with your cryptocurrency, you start the law of action and start creating action within that cryptocurrency you want to bring up. If you're into Doge, okay, you get everybody together and you band together and you buy Doge at crazily, like the people did with the GameStop thing. You can do that yourself. You don't need to rely on government or somebody else to do that for you. You can do that yourself. A Doge would be a much better thing to get. Don't go through it, Robin Hood and all that bullshit. Just buy it from their own platform. Forget Robin Hood. Do it yourself, and you can bring any cryptocurrency to great heights, and it would cause a great domino effect. Domino's next to me, um, on the prices of all their cryptocurrencies. Stop being a victim of everything and start creating the change that you want in cryptocurrencies moving forward. You can make that change. Get everybody who's excited about the Shiba Inu, get them all together, start buying every nickel. You got some spare change in on the counter or your bedroom uh, dresser, put it in there. Okay, just do it en masse, and you can create change more than any government can counteract. Okay, because cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, is outside their control. So if we all kept buying Bitcoin at this time and encourage everybody to buy Bitcoin at this time, the price would explode like it did with Gamestop. Okay, so that was my final suggestion for everybody. Not financial advice, of course. Um, to move everything forward. You be the change. Okay, so always grateful for everybody coming out. It's awesome time. There's a little mistake on my doobly doo for the next show tomorrow. It is at 10 a.m. Central. I'm going to be changing that later on. I think it's 9 o'clock in the afternoon or something. I don't know why it keeps doing that. This is the second time, but we will be here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central. It's for Sunday. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Central, as always. If you like a personal reading with me, back to my captions here. There it is. Boop. If you like a personal reading, I know somebody was asking about how to get in touch with me. Just go to psychicreadingsbyandre.com. Link is in the video itself. You can go there. I have a section for my readings, and you can email me, and we'll set up a time and place where we can have a personal reading. If you like to keep your cryptocurrencies out of the exchanges and safe from governments, make sure you go down to psychicreadingsbyandre.com, and we have a link there to go to Trezor, so you can buy a Trezor to keep your cryptocurrencies safe. That is the main key right now. Okay. If I missed your question today, make sure you put it into the description after this video becomes a video on YouTube, and to remind me for the next show. Okay. So with that, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future.